So if you really go the whole way and see how you feel at the prospect of vanishing forever, of all your efforts and all your achievements and all your attainments turning into dust.
There are a few moments in a man's life.
What is the feeling?
That they either become a man or they lose their humanity.
That's what it's going to all come to.
And
for some reason or other, we're supposed to find this depressing.
I don't know which one it is, but it was that day. And
Well, I've arrived in the bluegrass state of Kentucky where my pal and 22 Until Valhalla president, Guff McGuffey, has invited me in for a slice of pie at his favorite spot, the Mellow Mushroom. Today, Guff's nonprofit organization, 22 in Valhalla, is getting an informational booth set up to shed light on the topic of veteran suicide and provide his community with information on alternative healing treatment plans for veterans outside the normal veteran services.
I'll give you 5. I'll take you 5. Might be able to take a small trip Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Done this before.
Yes, you have. I can tell.
I do a lot of my things alone, man. So you gotta learn how to do shit by yourself.
I definitely can sympathize for old Guff. I too, in my nonprofit, do most of the work by myself. Not because I desire that, but because most people are unreliable or not determined by the same purpose-driven agenda. You see, turning a nonprofit can be so rewarding, but can be taxing, overwhelming, and financially unrewarding, which often leads to unreliable staff and a short list of volunteers.
I am better than that. Excuse me, I'm working at a pizza place. Sorry.
22 Until Valhalla is a veteran nonprofit organization committed to helping the families that have lost a veteran to suicide and provide outreach to veterans in his community that need a sense of connection. His agenda has been forged by tragic loss and experience, and his goals are to let families know that they are not alone and that they have a community that understands what their needs are and their pillar of recovery. As Guff works the room sharing his story and project mission, I had a second to chat with one of 22 Until Valhalla's board members and Air Force veterans about his thoughts on the battle against suicide and his work with 22 Until Valhalla.
I handle all of the marketing and media behind 22 Until Valhalla. So 2015 is when I got introduced to Guff, when he had actually, right around the time he had started 22 Until Valhalla. One of my best friends in the Air Force committed suicide, and I was already out. He was still in, and when I learned about that, I knew I needed to do something about it. So that's why I reached out to Guff, and I started a dog walk, kind of in memory for veterans who have been lost to suicide, and then reached out to the community, and then got 22 Until Valhalla involved, and we essentially raised money and awareness for veteran suicide and PTSD by getting veterans and dogs together. I would say the biggest thing to avoid fatigue and burnout when you're running an organization is to not be a yes man all the time. Now, saying yes to opportunities is incredibly important, because if you say no to an opportunity, then you could have missed out on something incredibly huge. And I think that's what a lot of people get caught up in, is that I need to say yes to everything because I have no idea what that opportunity is going to result in. And I wouldn't want to miss out if I said no, and then I would regret it. It's just recognizing when you've reached your limit. It's when you've recognized that you're not motivated to work on your project. It's when you've recognized that you get home from your day job and you don't want to do a single thing else. That's when you being honest with yourself and recognizing when the burnout has set in, and then delegating. If you have a team to delegate to, you just got to delegate and be comfortable with it.
Yeah, tell me what you really think of Guff.
Honestly, too good looking, and too into veterans, I guess. I don't really know.
Alright, question number 1, category is language. What is the British word
I got back to Mark. I got to deal with what time is it? 2:30.
It was nice to see the grassroots drive of this nonprofit organization get it done. Guff really is trying to make his community better and pay honors to his fallen brothers. And not to mention, I got to hang out with my buddy Whitman Rayburn and my new Army friend Ryan Schuler. Well, that's it for the Mellow Mushroom. It's time to eat up and get ready for a big day tomorrow. This is Talbert's Woodworking, where Guff works as a carpenter, kind of like Jesus, but Guff mainly works on staircases and mini blinds. It's easy to see as I poke my head around the room that his boss Ben has created a pretty special place for Guff to have connection to his rooted passions and repurposing timber into fine wine.
I was looking for anything to get out about Kentucky after all the suicides and everything. So I took them up on it. Within a couple of days, I was packed up and left and went to Asheville. And Uncle Rodney, man, he taught me a lot about carpentry.
I don't know if this is the right place to talk about it, but I'd like to know your thoughts about the marijuana for vets.
I'm a pretty open-minded guy, right? And I just think as long as you're not hurting people, as long as you're not taking people's stuff, it really doesn't matter what you do. And if a veteran wants to smoke weed, who are you or me or anybody to tell them that they can't? Like, it's their body, their rights. And if it helps them, then they should be able to do that. I mean, I smoke weed. Who cares? There's new studies going on for like MDMA, acid, mushrooms. In the medical community, they're researching all these things to see if that's what is going to help veterans. I believe it will. What's the difference in getting a veteran on an antidepressant from a pharmaceutical company or a veteran, taking mushrooms? I see no difference. And we have so many veterans that self-medicate with alcohol. I crawled at a bottle for years when I got out of the Marine Corps, and just to drown out the nightmares. And I started smoking weed. That was the best thing. did at that time for my PTSD. But I also coupled that with going to therapy. I've done every kind of therapy the VA can offer, and then, you know, my holistic healing style therapy, yoga, meditation, Muay Thai, working out, climbing mountains. And then here, you know, working here and then loving my job, like, if you can get all points working, then we should be able to give our veterans those opportunities. Granted, you know, veterans have to help themselves.
Right.
So, you know, we don't need to be holding their hand. We need to kind of let them fly, sink or swim, I guess. But, man, I don't know, man. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
I can't wait to see what the revelation of the future holds either, Guff. Nor can I wait to see the future has in store for Mr. Whitman and Mr. Schuler. A journey which started off in Tennessee now have their sails set high for the beautiful state of Oregon as they both leave behind the past and move into the future.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Which one's going with you?
This one.
Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you very much.
I know he's all excited about going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Great weather.
Yeah, I hope so. Getting antsy.
Did you see John in back?
I have not.
He's in the back. He's playing with his toy.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Good to see you, Walt.
Yeah, you too, buddy. So half the people here call me Walt. I don't die, just
You just going with it?
yeah. He's just been. She
going with
knows
it.
that my name's Whitman, but
I like Walt.
Walt.
I think it
Whitman,
might be
so-
Walt Whitman from this point on.
Walt Whitman. I like that. So that's why she calls me Walt. So like half the people call me Walt. And they're like, no, his name's Whitman.
Hey, Uncle Walt.
That sounds old.
Well, that's who you are. You're Uncle Walt Whitman from now on. Warriors returning home from hot combat zones do have a wide array of combat stress, grief, and difficulty adjusting to the new civilian culture and job market. These two veterans here could be in dire straits, but they are in a pursuit to regain the same strength as previously what made them memorable and top combat leaders through the outdoor industry. So it's highly important when exiting the military that you establish some groundwork like shelter, financial security, veteran-friendly communities, and organizational support. But most of all, be true to yourself and be tuned in with your purpose. You don't need to chase what's already within you. As times may challenge you with family, culture, and job satisfaction, know that every day new walls are being torn down and better ones are being built. We must adjust and be protective about how we input data and dialogue into our societal voice. It has always been assumed that civilians don't understand veterans. Well, they can't understand what they don't know. Therefore, we can never learn from them. And this is assuming they are a different species, but we're not. We're the same. We must work together, harder than ever before.
Oh, thank you so much,
guys.
man.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah,
No, we
seriously.
appreciate y'all so much.
No, man, we appreciate you.
No, you guys, you came at the right time of year for us. It's been a big help to us. I appreciate it.
Give any last shout out to Guff.
Guff, appreciate everything, man. It's been awesome. And I'll see you on right here. Love you, buddy.
Any last words for Guff?
Guff, man, I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for us, what you did, putting us up here and getting us some work. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. Seriously. Appreciate you, brother. Hell yeah, I'll see you out there.
See you in a couple days. As I bid my friends farewell, we the wanderers ever seeking the lonelier way, begin no day where we have ended another day, and no sunrise finds us where the sun has left us. So until our paths meet again, my brothers, know that I send you away with safety, and whenever you see a wings of a hawk above you, know that I am close. Now we're going to stop in at Guff's Fitness Haven at Triple Crown CrossFit in Kentucky. This gym has a wide variety of fitness service under one rooftop, including but not limited to CrossFit, cardio striking kickboxing, Carlson Gracie Team Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Olympic weightlifting, and fitness for kids. With over 10,000 square feet and 3,000 square feet of martial arts, this was my place to be.
I probably learned more about like stretching and being, staying flexible and staying like a razor fucking blade,
Yeah.
from yoga. Yoga's been the best thing that's kept me young. It kept me injury-free. Before I started doing yoga, I was always having psoas problems, back problems. I was doing concrete too and lifting, but so you have to kind of combat that with meditation and yoga, so it's always a fight between both of them. So if you beat me today, it's probably why.
Various studies show that exercise has a number of positive benefits for those that are managing chronic conditions like PTSD. In short, regular fitness activities have been proven to help boost mood, improve cognitive abilities, improve sleep quality, increase energy levels, promote weight loss, and so much more. There is more research that needs to be done on the benefits of exercise for veterans managing PTSD symptoms. Health clubs, wellness centers, and jiu-jitsu schools provide a perfect shape and close-knit community for veterans working to improve their health at their own pace.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes
my mind spray, malignant mist that'll leave can't defunct. The results, you'll remain stuffed in a car trunk. You couldn't come to the jungle of the east, popping that gang, you won't survive. Get live, catching wreck is our thing. I don't gang bang or shoot out bang bang. The relentless lyrics, the only dope I slang. I'm a true master, you can check my credentials, cause I choose to use my infinite potential. Got a freaky flow. Control the mic like Fidel Castro, like Cuba, so deep that you can scuba dive. My job's origin is unknown, like the Jubas. I've accumulated honeys all across the map, cause I'd rather bust a nut than bust a rap in your back. In fact, my rap snaps your sapriliac. I'm the Mac, so I don't need to totem at. My attack is purely mental and its nature's not hit. It's meant to wake you up out of your brainwashed state, stagnate nonsense. But if you're persist, you'll get your snot box bust. Your press up on this. I flip, hoes dip, none of the real niggas skip. You don't know enough math to count the mics that I've ripped. Keep the dirty rotten stamp as his verbal weapon spit. Shine like a gold nugget. Every time I pick up the microphone, I drug it, unplug it on chunks with the gangster battle. Leave your nines at home and bring your skills to the battle. You're rattling on and ain't saying nothing. That's why you got snuff when you bump heads with dirty rotten. Have you forgotten? I'll tap your jaw. I also kick like kung fu flicks by Run Shaw. Made frauds bleed every time I G, cause I perfected my drunkard style like Sam Seed. Pseudo psychos, I play like Michael Jackson when I'm busting ass and breaking backs in hell. The putrefied aroma, breathe too deep and you'll wind up coma.
The president and founder of 22 Until Valhalla is Marine Corps Infantryman, veteran who served in the 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Division from 2007 to 2011. He deployed to the Al-Anbar province in Iraq in 2009 and the Helmand province in Afghanistan in 2010 and 2011. He received an honorable discharge in 2011, and in January 2013, Guff McGuffey decided to try to take his own life after drinking heavily and battling the overwhelming struggles of guilt, trauma, and the lingering effects of PTSD and brain injury. The fate of Guff's eternal purpose was mightier than him rolling his truck end over end, attempting to make peace with the dark world and join his brothers in Valhalla. And as he lay on his back calling into the night sky for clarity, it has been heard, and the message is already on its way. And I hear my grandmother speaking to me as she stood in the middle, blind and unrecognizable. But today, I see clearly, and I hear her clearly, and after a decade she whispers to me and reveals the confirmation. There is something special about this time and place, this landscape.
Snap your fingers by that, right? Perfect.
Alright, so my name is Zach McGuffey. You can call me Guff, G-U-F-F.
All right, Guff. Let's get into it, man. Let's hear your story.
My story is rather cliche. My dog's worried about me. I think you can feel it. Come on, let's get inside. There you go, Bubby. From Kentucky. I was raised here. I was actually born in Cincinnati, but I was raised in Kentucky. Second generation coal mining family. My grandfather lived in the coal mine. He never coal mined, but he lived there. Came up here to Kentucky and in the 50s, and here we are. I say I had a cliche life for being a Marine, being an infantryman, being a warfighter, because like most infantrymen that I've met, and most veterans that I've met in my journey, running this nonprofit and working with all the not only the board members but all the veterans that we work with and the civilians and their families, it's very prevalent that most of our veterans come from, at least in my experience, come from abusive homes, bad childhoods, divorces, rough upbringing. And I was the same way, My dad and mom busted up when I was 3 months old. I was raised by a single mom for a long time, for as long as I can remember, until about 6, 7 years old. But there's abuse, there's neglect, there's abandonment. Child protective services were involved in my childhood. I had a loving, wonderful, beautiful childhood. On one end, on the other end, it was a little bit different. But me and my papa is a United States Marine, and he was my first real male role model. And he always told me not to join the Marine Corps. Every time we talked, I would be 6 years old, sitting on his lap. He'd be smoking his Winston Full Flavor and drinking his Wiedemann, and we'd be just hanging out watching Walker Texas Ranger or whatever cheesy action thing. And I would ask him about his tattoo on his forearm, the Marine Corps eagle on top of a branch that said USMC. And he'd say, "Son, don't ever join the Marine Corps." And he would tell me I was a kid, he would talk to me about Mount Motherfucker and boot camp and how terrible the Marine Corps was and being stationed in South Carolina Fort, being in the 1st Marine Division. But to me, that was he was a legend, he was a hero, he's a fucking United States Marine and a big dude and my papaw. And he would take me fishing and teach me about fishing, teach me about the land, teach me about camping, and teach me about getting up every morning, going to work, and providing for the family. Since as long as I can remember me being alive, I wanted to be a Marine Corps infantryman. I've watched the movies, read the books. The Marine Corps was just romantic to me because they had, the Marine Corps has the worst rifles. The Marine Corps has the worst deployments, but the toughest training and a small community and a true ethos, a true honor, walk the walk ethos. And that just attracted me, just like wrestling attracted me, because I knew that real folk style wrestling, that was the toughest sport you could do in high school. And then when you get out of high school, what's the next toughest thing? Well, the Marine Corps. not only am I going to get in the Marine Corps Infantry, now I have like a fire to go in the Marine Corps Infantry. And the whole time I was like, I don't want to miss Iraq. I don't want to miss Afghanistan. I'm like, these wars are going to be over before I get there. You know, because like, I got 5 years. Stupid me. I thought it was going to be over in 5 years. It wasn't. And then we do the year-long workup for Afghan. And that's when things started changing. So I'm 21, and I'm heading to Afghanistan. All they're telling you is it's Apache country, and it's a bad deployment. Already hundreds of Marines have died, which is true. Because we're going to the Helm, and alright, well, this is the real deal Holyfield, so let's go. And we dropped into the valley, you know, late October, early November, and then it wasn't really bad until we got down south. I was there for less than 48 hours, and I was on a patrol. And this is there are a few moments in a man's life that they either become a man or they lose their humanity. And I don't know which one it is, but it was that day. And I was the only guy there that's a father. And we're on a patrol, we're on a regular patrol outside of the Echo Company Combat Outpost, south, west it would have been, of that combat outpost is the graveyard. And then right past the graveyard is the bazaar, the Safari Bazaar. It's a big bazaar. Every Tuesday or Thursday, I can't remember. So there's thousands of people here, right? In the bazaar. And I look east, just goo. And just like this. Anybody that's been in Iraq, Afghan knows that the sand is like talcum powder. So when an explosion goes off, it can blot out the sun. But it's like brown, you know. But this was black and gray and brown. And it blotted out the sun. And I'm looking around, and somebody get on the radio and make sure that's a controlled death. That has to be controlled death. Somebody gets on the horn on the radio and starts asking, where is this controlled death? No one knows. And then you hear, then you hear Marines Winnie courting it. And at the time, I was crying and shit. But, so at the time, it's like, alright, let's go. I got threw my Kevlar on, fucking bring the weapon up to ready, and we gotta go. So we, take our squad and we start running through the bazaar, like pieing off windows and, running through alleys, just trying to get this explosion as fast as we could. Like we weren't even sweeping with the sweeping. I took point and like, if anybody steps on ID, it's gonna be me. Like, let's fucking go. Marines are down, and I was the only person on patrol that had live tissue trainers. So there was no corpsmen anywhere. All the corpsmen were in the FOB. I was the only person out of the 2 satellite patrols there that went to a school dedicated to like real live training. Real live like medical combat training. So I knew I had to get there. And it was me and this other Marine. It was me and this other Marine. He was a black guy. He was like kind of tall and skinny. He was fast as fuck. Everybody knew this guy was fast. And everybody knew was a white boy wrestler. I'm not fast. And he was like talking to me, Guff, what do we do? Guff, what do we do? I'm like, dude, I got it. It's like, follow me. We got it. I'm like, I got point. And we start cresting the little hill up to the graveyard. There's a crowd around. And I guess one of the squads that was going back to get relieved, actually at the gate, when they walked past it, it went off. And there's 3 Marines, or 2 Marines in the graveyard crouched over. And that's what I saw once I crested the hill. We pushed past this group of people. Like, I'm grabbing Afghans by the collar. Because in Afghanistan, when people get killed, like, it's just a TV show to them. They'll just crowd around and watch. Well, any American is not allowed to step foot in a graveyard or a mosque, right? But there was 2 or 3 Marines crouched over in the graveyard. So I'm like, hey, we need our board security, set it up, get on the horn, Blackhawks, right now. Let's go. And I just look at him. I can't even remember what Marine I looked at. And I just looked at, I think it was Roro. It was Rodriguez. I'm pretty sure it was Rodriguez. And I looked at Roro, and I said, we're going to do this, man. We're going to run to a live minefield to save these people. I didn't even know those kids at the time. Like, I was running into this minefield, not knowing it was children. Not knowing there was not a Marine that was hurt. So I look at Roro and I say, hey man, we gotta fucking do this, buddy. And we go, we run in the minefield, and Roro kind of pies off to the right, you know, because a Marine over here, and then there's 2 Marines crouched over right in front of my eyesight. So Roro goes right, and I go fucking straight, and I just catch purple and pink out of the bottom of my eyes, and I stop. So I'm like, who knows, you know, it could be fucking anything. And I stop real quick, and I look down, and it's a I would say she's like 3 or 4 years old. She's cut in half. Her intestines were on the dirt, and her torso was kind of like up here, and her legs were kind of down here. But she was still attached. She was still very much alive, and she was crying and screaming for Allah, you know, asking Allah to save her. And I remember I was a Christian back then too. I remember thinking, like, man, this girl's she's a 4-year-old girl, man. She's cut in half, like guts everywhere, and she's screaming to a God. And I'm here. And I'm the one saving her. And I, you know, knelt down and poured some water on her intestines, and she started fading. I knew it. I mean, at 4 years old, that kind of trauma, there's no way. The best surgeon in the entire world couldn't do anything for that. So I let her go. You know, I had to. Toughest thing in the world, man. You know, being a dad. And you know, going through a rough childhood, having to, you know, leave a child to die alone, stuff. But, you know, there were 6 other kids that needed saving, and there were a lot of Marines that didn't know what I knew, so I had to just fucking keep moving forward. And I didn't think about that girl the rest of that entire deployment until I got home and things calmed down, and then I started thinking about her. Got out in October. I drove home, took 3 days to drive home. Me and Robinson got out the same day. Him and me and Feldman took our truck to Arizona, dropped off Feldman, then drove from Arizona to North Carolina, to Asheville. And I dropped him off, and then I came home to Northern Kentucky. And I was 22 years old. Went from hero to zero real quick, because now I'm jobless. You know, came home from the war, I'm jobless, no education, no wife, no girlfriend, no nothing, just a kid, you know. Got my son, and my son's still living in California, and nothing, really, no direction. So I did what the Marine Corps told me to do, which was go get on disability and get on unemployment, and I got on unemployment and went to the VA, and you know, I got diagnosed with a TBI, PTSD, no hearing in my left ear, tinnitus, 3 bulging discs in my lower back, 2 bulging discs in my neck, and then they were basically like, well, you're never going to live a fulfilled life because you're kind of jacked up. And I looked at the doctors and I said, yeah, you're right. I'm never going to live a normal life. I left. I went through a shit ton of therapy, but that was about it, man. I've been through about every therapy the VA can kind of give you, but year and a half after I got home, I tried to kill myself. I got drunk knowingly. Like, I set out to get really, really drunk. I told everybody it was, it was an accident. I was just drunk and got in a wreck, which is true, but I didn't tell anybody that it was a suicide attempt. Bought a new truck, stayed working, stayed in the VA, and then Robinson killed himself. That's when everything changed. Because he would talk to me every week. He was about to graduate with his, I think it was his bachelor's degree in engineering. He had a fiance. He had a daughter from a previous relationship, and he get it all together, man. I'll talk to him all the time. He was just like, he would call me, hey, micro man, because I'm small, and call him micro man. And he would just call me, and he was always good. He would always call me and be like, how are you? How are you? How are you? And he would kind of dominate the conversation that way. And looking back at it, that's obviously a sign, but I didn't know that at the time. And that was Thanksgiving was the last time I talked to him, and then he killed himself December 5th. And weirdly enough, Wade was killed December 1st, 2010. Rob killed himself on December 5th, I believe. So I'm driving home and call my number one guy in Nadolski. He was actually a senior. He's in charge of me when I was in the Marine Corps, but now we're best friends. And I call him and I was like, dude, I got to do something about this. I don't know what, but I got to do something. Like this. Just none of this is sitting well with me. How everything played out. None of this is sitting well. I tried to commit suicide. Robinson committed suicide. Now I'm working with a family, and the VA's not doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. Like they're having money issues, just trying to get them buried or cremated or whatever they want to do. And I come home and I get in school. I start school at a community college, and I didn't have a great time in school. I wasn't a great student or anything like that. But I went through public speaking. And public speaking and English, I think, were the best for me. We decided to start putting out there that I would speak at certain events and sell t-shirts, and we would take the money and send it to a nonprofit. Well, at the time, in 2013-14, well, I was about 14, probably 14, 15, there was no nonprofits around to give money to. So me and Sam kind of put our heads together, and we said, maybe we should just start a nonprofit. And he said, yeah. And he was like, he does a bunch of cyber defense stuff for the government. So he's really good at computers. So he did that media computer side, and I was doing the face side. And it just fucking spiraled out of control, And then I said, well, I want college scholarships for children left behind from veteran suicide, because Robinson had kids. So he raised money for that. And then I got the first 2 college scholarships for his children. Or his child and his niece, I'm sorry. And people started liking that. So they started giving me more money. I was like, well, fuck, well, I need to get national, So I got the 501c3 status, which is national nonprofit status, EIN number. So we got really legit. I got a lawyer. Then we started getting a board. And then, we got to do events now. So now we're doing tons of events. And I'm doing speaking engagements and fundraising. And and then I start getting into holistic healing, me personally. So Rainier, oh boy.
Come on, give it to me.
I'm so pumped. Oh, I'm so pumped.
This is going to be used for later. We'll tie this into the story.
Yeah, I'm just excited for Rainier. It's like Aaron said. And Aaron's a hippie, and I'm a hippie. And, me and Aaron, I knew Aaron from probably 15, 20 minutes of knowing him. I was like, this is my brother. Him and I are going to be tight as tigers. We're never going to stop talking until the day we die. This is one of my spirit fucking family people. And him and I were talking, dude, and it was like me and him and Justin and all of, we got 5 veterans from 1st Marine Division, from 5, Marines from 2-1. on my team, and Aaron's coming, and all Justin's dudes, Army and Navy and Air Force and Marines, and fuck, it's just gonna be huge, man. And I'm just so excited to get up on that mountain and just put myself under my pack and leave it at the fucking parking lot and just get fucking brutal. I can't wait to be hungry and tired and cold and frustrated and in pain, because I'll be in the moment. I'll be around my best friends. And when you are feeling that terrible, one cup of coffee, a little bit of a joint, fucking Copenhagen, on a glacier with your best bud, Aaron or Justin or Dazens or Mikey or McDermott, whatever. Sean White. That's that memory that you earned. That's an earned memory. You'll never forget it. You fucking earned it. It's not like getting drunk with your friend on a boat on a lake. Nah, you and your best brother fucking climb this mountain. You earn that goddamn coffee. You earn that fucking joint. You earn that chili mac. And that's what it's about, man. And having those memories. Oh, like today, man, Aaron fucked me up. Aaron beat the fucking brakes off me. And I loved it because he's my brother. I'm like, this dude just dominated me in the ring. But I had the balls to get in the ring with him, knowing he's a professional fighter, knowing I'm not. And I trusted him. I trusted knowing that he wasn't going to, take it to the limit. And so it's kind of like that kind of trust. Like, you're on the mountain, you know the dude on your rope team has got you. You know the dude in the ring has got you. Like, it's fine. You're with your dudes. You know something bad happens, they're going to turn around and help you. And earning that cup of coffee, earning that sunset, earning that sunrise, earning that meal, earning that summit, earning that time in the ring with your brother. Those are memories you tell your kids about.
Fuck yeah. Let's get weird.
Alright.
I didn't get into this business by being an airhead or a screwball. My attitude was always, if it's real, it can take the pressure. You know, you don't have to pussyfoot around the real thing. If they're telling you, oh, you must lower your voice and avert your gaze or this and that, then you're probably in the presence of crap. Because the real thing is real. It doesn't demand that you adjust your opinion to suit it. It's real. That means it is preeminent. That means it sets the agenda. And I studied yoga. I wandered around in the East. I was fast shuffled by beady-eyed little men in dhotis. I know the whole spiritual supermarket and rigmarole, and I find nothing there to interest me on the level of 5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms in silent darkness. I mean, that's where the pedal meets the metal. That's where the rubber meets the road. And the inspiration for me to get up and talk to an audience like this simply comes from the fact that I cannot believe that this could be kept under wraps the way it has. I mean, I kidded with you earlier that they would make sex illegal if they could. Well, they can't, so it isn't. But the psychedelic experience is as central to understanding your humanness as having sex, or having a child, or having responsibilities, or having hopes and dreams, and yet it is illegal. We are somehow told We are infantilized. We're told, you can wander around within the sanctioned playpen of ordinary consciousness, and we have some intoxicants over here if you want to mess yourself up. We've got some scotch here and some tobacco and red meat and some sugar and a little TV and so forth and so on. But these boundary dissolving hallucinogens that give you a sense of unity with your fellow man and nature are somehow forbidden. This is an outrage. It's a sign of cultural immaturity.
Never done heavy mental.
Who are we? And where do we come from? Was we created, or do we evolve? Have we lived this way before, repeating our lives until we satisfy our consciousness based on a false window? What is life without ego? It is in our familiarity that we have began to tribe up, connecting out of our past lives and affirmations. It is in a star's game of a new purpose and perspective that has unified and coordinated a change in the cycle that has fogged but yet forged a new clarity and final destination.
What are you... I commented on there and I said, well, why do you deserve 100% disability? And then everybody just started hitting me up and they were like, who are you to question? Who are you to question? You don't know what's going on. And I was like, dude, I'm just asking why she deserves 100% disability when I know veterans that have lost their legs and are only like on 50% disability. There's just whole groups of people that are out there just trying to get theirs. And I don't know what your opinion is, but I'm always like, bro, at the end of the day, y'all volunteered. You got paid for a job that you volunteered to do. Man, there's something about, I'm like connected to Mexicans and Native Americans. Like, I'm always around them. Like, I always feel better. I always feel like my best when I got like my Mexican or Native American compadre. Like you, Benny, Hondo, you guys have been like so influential in my life positively. It's just, man, I love it. But I think it's just so weird.
And you'll just tell me to pull this C4 pump. I did 8 years in the Army.
Did you? Hey, thanks for your service, brother. That's awesome, man. So what'd you do in the Army?
I was an MP.
Oh, you buddy fucker.
Well, it's my final day with Guff, and we're getting some brass time in with some local authorities before heading out to 22 Until Valhalla's annual fundraiser and end of summer event. And I'm so pumped to have this journey end with a bang.
Today's event, it's like I told my board members last night, and I said, hey, tomorrow's Christmas. Because this is the biggest day of the year for us. Summer salute. So we're saying goodbye to summer and inside under a big tent and listen to music, drink wine, drink beer. All the nonprofits there, telling their story, what they do, and it's a bringing awareness. We're raising money and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, it's really not about raising money. It's just about connecting with your community and humanizing veterans, humanizing firemen, humanizing policemen, and everybody coming together and just having a good time and talking and. Mammy!
You look good! How about that?
Thank you.
I'm glad you cleaned up.
Thank you. Mammy, this is Aaron, my brother.
Aaron. Hello.
And he's running the nonprofit, Struggle Beyond the Decade. We were all
Tell me how you got this thing. Tell me how you make this pie here.
I made the pie crust.
Yeah.
I just made it with flour and shortening, a little salt and ice water. Rolled it out. Put it in my 10-inch pie plate.
Is this a special recipe that you always do?
No. Just something for little man. I'm glad he cleaned up. I was so afraid he was going to go looking like a homeless person. It might be his then. Are these them? I thought they were man.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mammy.
I thought they.
You're groomed. Look at you.
I don't look like a homeless person anymore.
Now it's time to kick off the 2019 22 Until Valhalla Summer Salute.
I got zip ties too if we need to use that zip ties to hang that. What's up, buddy? Good, man. Been a couple years.
It has been.
How are you? Glad you're still cooking because you're good at it.
Appreciate that.
Where is Tom or Tina here?
Austin would be the one to talk with.
Okay.
Tom is at Rapid Hatch today.
Oh, is it? All right.
Yeah. Let's see, what you need?
I do need a beer.
Okay.
Today, the veteran-ran nonprofit organization 22 Until Valhalla is celebrating 4 years of service and their second annual Summer Salute. This amazing event includes dinner, drinks, live music provided by Army veteran Nick Sterling and the Nomads. This fundraising event has great raffle items, a silent auction, and speakers that help the community understand their mission for the fight with veteran suicide.
Yeah, well, we've been playing music quite a while now. We're been touring the country as a full band for the better part of this year, all over from Montana to Oregon, all the way out and out of Kentucky, out of Texas, Austin, Texas. And Adam Whitney, that works at 22 Valhalla, I served with him in 06, 07 in Iraq, but my entire time in the military, I was with him. So he asked me to do this, and 100%, I'm going to do it every time. I was in 3 years from 05 to 08. I was in Iraq 06 to 07, and I got wounded at the very end of our tour with 2 weeks left. So that kind of cut my time in the military a little bit short. Well, my transition lasted about 10 years now, I think. I got out, went to school. I was 21 years old, 22 years old in school, kind of got into classes, got into doing everything that a regular college kid's supposed to do. I wasn't much older than them. I kind of dropped everything I was as a veteran for a long time, didn't really talk about anything, just wanted to be normal, normal. Started drinking a lot, doing a college kid thing, and then met my wife, and then started contracting a bit because realized there's a lot of money in that, a lot more than there was as a just newly graduated college student. Eventually found my way back home, got a couple more degrees, just trying to figure out how life actually worked as a civilian, and then eventually found my way to music. That was the one thing my wife always said that she enjoyed the most when I was feeling good, was that I loved music. And she said, you should probably try to pursue this as a career, because we would rather be poor and happy than making money and unhappy and unhealthy. And it's got me to where I am now. I imagine it's a comforting feeling, almost like if there's electromagnetic therapy or yoga or things that vibrate your body, and it kind of where it realigns your physical and mental self. I feel like that's how music is, because it's just there's a familiarity to it of music that you hear, and it just kind of soothes you no matter what. And you can not hear a song for 20 years, and it soothes you to a point because it reminds you of a time. And I feel like that is an extremely a heavy thing that music can do, and it does it for me 100%. So that's why I do it, and then able to do that now and do that for other people. I take that very seriously, because as a musician, I never act like I'm saving lives at all or doing anything as heavy as I was doing, but I do take it seriously, because if there's 100 people in a crowd and I can affect one person in a great way, then it's worth it giving it my 110% on stage to let them feel that way, the way that I felt when I first wrote or heard that song. Yeah, well, it's exactly the stuff we've been talking about. I've worked with a few people, and they say PT saves lives, and I think that's the truth. Getting your body physically moving can help the brain either shut off the things that don't matter, those kind of demons you talk to, or it helps kind of rationalize other things. it's important, I think, getting to climb and getting jiu-jitsu, getting into something that focuses your mind on healthy things. That's a big thing.
Shady Grove, mother love, Shady Grove, I said, Shady Grove, mother love, I'm trying to go.
All right, everybody, give it up for the Nick Sterling and the Nomad Band. Awesome, thank you so much, brother. That guy right there is an Army veteran, and we got linked up with him because one of our board members, who was also in the Army, they served together, and that's how we got linked up with them and got them at the event. So it's very special to us to have a band that is also veteran founded and went to Iraq. So I love having them here, and they're great. So first and foremost, like, none of this would be possible, none of this would be happening right now if it wasn't for my board members. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have these raffle items, wouldn't have all this put together. None of this would be possible. So big hand to all these people, not me, you guys, awesome. That's our vice president. She is the most professional out of all of us. Miss Jessica Stitz, she is a Navy veteran, deployed on the Ronald Reagan. Adam was in the Army, I don't know, whatever. Adam was in the Army Infantry, 25th ID, Iraq, two-time Iraq. Taylor, Air Force. You want to, like, what do you guys do? Intel. Air Force, Intel. He was there. He said he really sat in a chair in air conditioning, but good for you because we need that. D'Amico, been my best friend since I was 15 years old. We actually wrestled together in high school. I got out of the Marine Corps. He, when I was 22, he invited me over for dinner, and I haven't left since. And him and I work together like 3-4 days a week. I'm always at his house, and he's been one of the best board members we've had. And honestly, after running this nonprofit for almost 5 years now, I really don't have a whole lot of things together. But I tell you what, like, I got one formula correct, and that's board members. And board members is what really matters. And at least for me, hey, I got one thing right. I got an awesome team behind us, and I'm the face, but these people are doing a lot of the work. So if you ever want to run a nonprofit, first and foremost, get board members together, and when you read and try to do work on nonprofits, they'll tell you, hey, don't make your board members from your friends and your family. I'm like, well, you know, I think they're wrong, because my board members are my family, and I love them, and they've really made this possible, and I'm not crying, I have allergies. Obviously. So, all right, you guys can leave now. I'm going to tell my story. No, thank you guys so much. I love you all. You guys are fucking awesome. All right, so I'm going to do a toast. And when we got home from Afghanistan, we, we'd always be drinking. That's what Marine infantrymen do. So we got home from Afghanistan, and every time we'd be drinking, we would always say this toast. And obviously to our brothers that, we had lost in combat. So let me get my beer here. So, to cheating, everybody got their beer? Or their wine? All right. To cheating, to stealing, to fighting, to drinking. All right? If you cheat, may you cheat death. If you steal, may you steal a woman's heart. If you fight, may you fight for your country. And if you drink, may you drink with me. All right.
You would have drank all that.
Well, that's it from Kentucky in the Summer Salute. I'm certainly blessed to have met Guff and Nick both. I see many good things for them down the highway of life's pursuit. And remember, no matter what, suicide is not an option. We must all find clarity and do our parts to reach into the void, to find the voices that are screaming silently in their minds. Guff and his nonprofit are a grassroots force that care and will readily have a hand available in your need.
Flying to you now. Say the word and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your parachute. Drink when the whiskey is the only thing that you have left to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down, falling feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the word and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your parachute.
Well, that's it from Kentucky. And on my next journey, I will be teaming up with the Veterans Adventure Group climbing team for the second summit of Mount Rainier. So stay tuned for another episode of Struggle Beyond the Decade.